Valeria, and we're going to present the Mozarabic architecture. First, we will begin with a background of the story of the Mozarabic architecture and mostly the religion and the movement, and then we'll go to a description of the buildings and their main characteristics and how this architecture influenced the future generations of architecture.
The Mozarabs started in the 9th to 11th century. These were Christians that came to Spain mostly, and Christians that became to Islam were called Muladis, and Christians that stayed as Christians but in the Islamic countries were called Mozarabics, and they didn't have the privilege to construct in the city, so they constructed mainly in rural places. And their characteristic features were that they had cupolas, they were round, segmented, and ribbed of horseshoe transept, among others. They had the horseshoe arcs with alfies. Alfies was the rectangle that was around the horseshoe.
Like bricks.
They used a lot of shapes and colors. And in the ceilings, they used eaves with corbels that helped to support the building. And there were mainly vaulted temples. An important architect was him. He didn't create that building, but he was a refugee, a rebel. And since he was in a lot of revelations or manifestations, he needed a place to plan his tactics and all that. So he stayed in Bobastro and he reconstructed it, added a few details, but now they are just ruins in Spain. And about Alfonso, who was from the clergy, I think, created San Miguel de Escalada Monastery in León, Spain. Well, he did not create it, he just reconstructed and added a few details, because in that era there was not a specific architect in every building, but the community helped to create the buildings.
Okay, one of other building that is very iconic, one of the iconic buildings in this style was the San Baudelio de Berlanga in Soria, Spain. As already said, well, I think she said it, is the Mozarabic architecture is characterized for being clean and in the outside, deep and clean. You have your eaves with tile, the facade made with ashlar, and mostly a simple window or a simple entrance like this with the horseshoe arc. And for example, this one has this the central part that is this with the entrance, and has another building in the back with a cubic form, which has the same decoration in the outside. But when you enter to these buildings, you can see the difference between the entrance and, well, between the outside and the inside. It is more full with, mostly in the walls, with paintings about the Bible. You have scenes of, I don't know, the Last Dinner, and what is interesting about these buildings is that they have a very good construction. You have this column that supports the entire building with this, if you want to say it, groins or ribs that go all over the ceiling, and that also have decorations. And when you enter the monastery, no, the shrimp. You have you have another arm like this, which is like this. You enter, you have the column, and then you have the two arcs, and then you have a like kind of a cluster, more or less, with 27 arcs that goes on the right. Then you have the stairs that are attached to the wall and lead you to the second floor. Now, another interesting one is the Santiago de la Peña in Valle de Silencio, Spain. What is interesting about this chapel is that it has a cross plan. With this, you have the apse, and these ones are this one and this one over there are two chapels, and then you have like you have this. This is well, in each building you will find a cupola with the growing arcs and the chapels, and also in the inside, I think it's the west, you have a entrance with a horseshoe arc and the altar, which is the square that is upside up on the top of the arch. And sometimes it's decorated with lines, like an extra volume. Now you have San Juan de la Peña in Huesca, Spain. What's interesting about this construction is that it's attached to a mountain. It is called an accidental construction. As my parents say, they weren't allowed to construct in the cities, so they will move to another parts which are very far. For example, this mountain. It comes with four buildings. The first one that you can really see it is over here. It's a place where the people in the monasteries live. They have the oven bread, the Pantheon, the central Pantheon, and the Pantheon Noble. Then you have the other building, which is has the same symbol, and has 3 windows in the top, and 2 in the bottom, and 1 in the middle, which is more decorated. And then you have the cloister, which is here, is like a patio cloister, which is very interesting because it has the mountain on top. So you have the mountain here, the rock. And what is a characteristic about these cloisters are the columns, the Corinthian columns that are over here. The main carvings that have these columns were animals and plants, and they also have a curve shape, like a braid shape curvature in here. You can't see it, but it is in here. And well, it was just like a patio. And also you have the last building, which is a Samboro Chapel. See, Samboro Chapel, which is over here. It has the main entrance is a horseshoe arc. You have 2 columns that mark it, a pattern of lines in here, a symbol that is also marked, and you have a cupola that's also a characteristic of the Mozarabic architecture. And this is, I can find the inside, but it wasn't a picture of it. I think that's the inside. Is the last one? Well, and then there is also the influence in modern architecture. One example will be the Lotus Temple. The outside is not like the Mozarabic, of course, but you have in the inside the form of the chain arcs that go all over the top. You also have The cloister is also used in modern constructions, like in frame of the gardens and something like that. The columns, and you will also find the horseshoe arcs that are mostly used by the Muslims, who are the ones that invented it, and they have a belief that these ones have a religious and spiritual meaning, and also for their advantages in the constructions. Any questions?
Are those chapels still in use, or are those like tourist attractions?
The parts that are like you can enter, because sometimes there are ruins. Some of the chapels, but for example, this one, I think this one is in use, but the other one, the San, ¿qué puede decir para arriba? Esa, the San Baudelio. This one that isn't in use.
I have a question. In that like chapel, you said that inside there are like 27 columns or arches. That's like a rule, or that's just like the amount of that?
It isn't a rule. It's just like the type of decoration that they wanted to put inside. But they use this mostly used outside, like the other one in the patio, but they only use it as a decoration in this building. Any more questions?
Are there any Mozarabic buildings outside Spain?
No.
There are buildings influenced by the Mozarabics, but not especially.
Since they stay in Spain mostly, not other.
Like in the building that one column was supporting on the building, are there like, is it usually like that or only on that building?
There are more examples that have, well, what characteristic is mostly that you have a column that supports everything, but it depends on the type, the type of building. For example, in the cross plan building, you don't have that. In this one, it's a main characteristic. It doesn't have to be in all.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
So